Can you even imagine a time when your doctor might write you a prescription for cocaine to fix a toothache? Or you'd give your baby a soothing syrup that was secretly packed with morphine? Well, this wasn't some work of fiction. It was the absolute reality of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This was the golden age of what they called patent medicines. So today, we're going to open up the medicine cabinet of the past and uncover the so-called miracle cures that were, well, anything but.
You see, the ads promised instant relief for just about anything that ailed you, and these remedies were trusted by everyone. Doctors, families, you name it. But behind those beautiful, ornate labels and those confident claims, there was a really dark secret. In an era with no FDA, no ingredient lists, what were people really putting into their bodies in the name of health?
All right, let's start with an ingredient that's probably going to surprise you. Not as a street drug, but as a celebrated medical marvel. Cocaine. In a world that was just desperate for effective pain relief, it was seen as a modern wonder.
Now, I want you to picture having a raging toothache before modern dentistry even existed. I mean, the pain would have been just unbearable. But for just 15 cents, a tiny price, you could walk right into a pharmacy and buy a product that promised instant, powerful relief. So, what was this miracle in a bottle?
Yep, it was cocaine toothache drops. No clever marketing tricks, no hidden meanings here. The name was brutally honest. That powerful numbing effect came directly from its main ingredient. You could buy it right over the counter. And while nobody could deny that it worked, the public had absolutely no clue they were treating their pain with one of the most addictive substances on the entire planet.
But cocaine wasn't just for, a screaming toothache. It was also the secret ingredient in the most fashionable health tonics of the day. The most famous of them all was Vin Mariani. It was this sophisticated blend of French wine and coca leaf extract. And get this, each ounce had about 6 milligrams of cocaine. It was marketed as a total cure-all for modern problems, everything from exhaustion to writer's block. And the star power behind this cocaine-laced wine was just incredible. I mean, we're talking about popes, one even awarded it a gold medal, inventors like Thomas Edison, and even Queen Victoria. These endorsements just go to show you how mainstream and completely accepted this stuff was. It wasn't seen as a dangerous drug, but as this sophisticated, almost intellectual beverage.
And believe it or not, this whole story is actually the surprising origin of one of the world's most famous brands. See, a pharmacist named John Pemberton was inspired by Vin Mariani and created his own version. But then, Atlanta banned alcohol in 1886, so he had to pivot, right? He took out the wine, but kept the coca leaf and cola nut extracts, and he created a brand new non-alcoholic syrup. And just like that, Coca-Cola was born.
Now, as shocking as finding cocaine in your soda might be, it was hardly the only potent drug on the pharmacy shelf. Our next category of ingredients was even more common, and in a lot of ways, much more insidious. We're talking about opium and all its derivatives, often marketed as these gentle, soothing remedies.
The cornerstone of this whole category was a substance called laudanum. And what was it really? Well, essentially, it was just opium and morphine dissolved in alcohol. You could buy it without a prescription for pretty much anything. Chronic pain, a nagging cough, diarrhea. You could even use it to quiet a fussy child. It was a household staple, and it was also devastatingly addictive.
And of course, companies refined these formulas to try and stand out from the crowd. Take Dr. McMunn's elixir of opium. It was marketed as this purer, safer version of opium, perfect for settling your nerves or getting a good night's sleep. But despite all the claims of it being harmless, it was still just a potent and incredibly addictive opium extract.
But maybe the most chilling use of these drugs was in products that were made specifically for children. Just look at this slogan for Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup, the mother's friend. It sounds so reassuring, doesn't it? So gentle. It promised to calm teething babies and quiet down restless infants. I mean, what could possibly be wrong with that?
The active ingredient was morphine. Mothers, who were just trying to do the best they could for their babies, were unknowingly dosing their infants with a powerful and dangerous opiate. The syrup worked, of course. It basically sedated the children into silence. But it also led to countless poisonings, tragic overdoses, and deaths, all hidden behind that comforting, friendly label.
Okay, so if you thought morphine for babies was the absolute peak of shocking, well, buckle up. Our final case study is honestly even more unbelievable. A drug that we now consider one of the most dangerous narcotics in the world was once sold as a common household remedy with an absolutely audacious claim. So products like Heroin were marketed as superior cough suppressants. You had ads from the pharmaceutical giant Bayer praising them as super effective for things like bronchitis and asthma. And the most audacious claim of them all? That it was non-habit forming. The ingredient behind that claim was diacetyl morphine, which is just the chemical name for, yep, heroin. This wasn't just misleading. It was a blatant deception with truly devastating consequences.
So, what's the common thread here? What's the big takeaway? It's a story of powerful drugs, deceptive marketing, and a complete and total lack of regulation. People were desperate for relief from pain and sickness in a time before our modern medicine, and these companies exploited that desperation, selling addiction and danger in a bottle.
So let's pull back the curtain on these miracle cures one last time. We've got cocaine in toothache drops and high society wine. We have opium and morphine in soothing syrups for babies. And we even have heroin in cough medicine. And these weren't just trace amounts. They were the active and incredibly dangerous ingredients.
And all this brings us to a final, really crucial thought. You know, it's easy for us to look back with our modern knowledge and just judge the ignorance of the past. But this history serves as a powerful reminder to always question what we're being sold, especially when it promises a quick and easy cure. It leaves us with a pretty provocative question. If these were the accepted miracle cures of yesterday, what are the hidden dangers we might be overlooking right now?